All Century 21 real estate offices are independently owned and operated.
Hi, I'm Jackie Ruddy, broker of Century 21 Jack Ruddy Real Estate. Welcome to the Real Estate Roundtable on 94.3 FM The Talker. I am here with my husband, co-host, Bell Realtor, Pat Devaney.
Good morning, Jackie. How are you today?
You know, you ask me that every week. I am excellent today. How are you?
Very good.
Good. We have with us Ralph Pappas, Business Relations Manager with Lackawanna County Office of Planning and Economic Development. We also have Debbie Dominic, one of our Lackawanna County Commissioners, also the Chairwoman of the Lackawanna County Land Bank. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for being here with us. We're here every Saturday at 11 a.m., Sunday at 11:30 a.m., where we discuss real estate. We have an exceptional real estate office with many relentless realtors who've been appraising, listing, and selling real estate for 50-plus years.
Wow, 50 years. During the week, feel free to email us with any questions you may have at questions@jruddy.com. That's questions@jruddy.com. Or you can give us a call at 570-344-6724. And when you go to jruddy.com, click on the webcam. We have a camera on top of the building up at Dunmore Corners, and it shows the corners there. And it's really, we get thousands of hits a month on that camera. It's pretty interesting.
Check us out on social media, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, and Pinterest. View our listings, search the MLS listings, and listen to archive radio shows by going to mobile-friendly jruddy.com, jruddy.com, where we also have all the popular podcast apps that our radio show is featured on. Once again, Ralph Pappas, Business Relations Manager with Lackawanna County Office of Planning and Economic Development, and Debbie Dominic, one of our Lackawanna County Commissioners and Chairwoman of the Lackawanna County Land Bank. So today we are going to talk about the land bank. What is the land bank? What does it do? How long has it been in existence? I'm going to have Ralph.
Okay, Jackie, thank you for having us today. We appreciate it. Get the word about the land bank out. Well, actually, a land bank it's a public authority or a nonprofit created to efficiently acquire, hold, manage, and develop tax foreclosed property as well as other vacant and abandoned properties. The Land Bank Act was passed in 2012 and really came into existence in 2013 by the Land Bank Act, which was passed by the state legislature. The Lackawanna County Land Bank was established in 2015, and it took us about a year to get the board members on board and establish bylaws and policies and procedures. And we started acquiring properties in 2017.
How many properties did you acquire?
Well, to date, we're probably approaching the 300 mark.
And how many did you?
As of probably about 215 properties are back on the tax rolls.
So you acquired near 300, and you have.
We still have an inventory of the remainder there, 60 or 70 properties.
Okay, so if someone's interested in a property that's on your list, how do they find out about that?
Well, we have two websites, actually. We have one that's right with the county website. It's a link. And we also have LackawannaLandBank.com. We have two of them. We are upgrading our Lackawanna County .com website, and we hope in the future to have something similar to an MLS listing where you can click on the tax number, and it immediately take you to where that property is located. Because a lot of properties that are on the repository, the tax claim, but we could get into that as well as far as the repository properties. But a lot of them don't have addresses, and we get so many calls to tell us, where are they? And in some cases, we don't even know.
I've looked through the land bank. I've been a big fan of the land bank for years, and I was looking, and I would always go through your website. Like you say, there's no address on the property. You go, well, where is this? So it would go, and it would show the map, and it would say, this is the parcel. It's next to 123 Main Street, or it's across the street, and it would have the imagery pictures there, the parcels, and it would have the location of it and everything. And the beautiful thing about the land bank, from my point of view, I've been a fan for a long time, is the land is so cheap. I mean, it's really, I know people who have purchased stuff through the land bank and they have improved the properties, but I really like the idea of the land bank. I mean, there's restrictions and stuff too, but it's an absolutely fabulous program.
So this is Debbie Dominic speaking. So we are on plenty of boards as commissioners, but the land bank is a board that I've been the chair for now. This is my third year, so since my administration began. And the reason why I enjoy it so much is that there really is no downside. Now, as soon as somebody gives me an opportunity and says there's no downside to anything, I'm immediately suspect of it. And I immediately start looking for what aren't they telling me? But there really is no downside to the land bank. I think that the people or the municipalities and the school districts who are not yet participating. Maybe it's fear of them losing control of the properties, or maybe them just not fully understanding how the land bank process works. But we do work with them. Once we get into the process, we can explain that.
So let's talk about the municipalities and why they have to participate with the county. So let's talk about that. Who's on the list? Who isn't?
Okay, so the participating municipalities are Scranton, Carbondale, Fell Township, Mayfield, Dunmore, Blakely, Archbold, Covington, Vanling, Old Forge, Troop, Thornhurst, Scott, German, and Jefferson Township. And then the participating school districts are Scranton, Carbondale, Dunmore, Lakeland, Mid-Valley, Valley View, North Pocono, Forest City, and Old Forge. So the reason why is that, so once a property goes through a judicial sale, they are on the municipality's repository. And the reason why we need the participation of the school districts as well as the municipalities is because they are taxing bodies. So the school district has a tax, the municipality or borough, they have a tax, and then the county has a tax. There's 3 taxing bodies. And, we're getting ahead of ourselves a little bit, but the reason why we need the cooperation from the county as well as the municipality or borough and the school district is because once we take in a property and sell a property through the land bank, what happens is for the first 5 years that the taxes are paid on that property, half of it goes to the land bank and then the other half is split between the 3 taxing bodies. It's the only way we can keep the land bank going because we do not sell these properties for a lot of money. Regular properties are sold, and by regular properties, I mean non-side lots for $500, and then side lots are sold for $100.
150 that went up recently.
And 150?
Yeah.
Okay. And we do, and Ralph can speak to this, we do from time to time help contribute with demolition of properties and things of that nature. But what happens is once a property goes through a judicial sale, it's put on the municipality or the borough's repository list. And then they stay there. And then if that's a participating municipality and a participating school district, we don't immediately take the properties into the land bank. They stay on the repository list for that borough or municipality. And we advertise on our website for, I don't know how we choose the properties, Ralph.
Well, all of the properties are listed on the Tax Claim Bureau website as far as repository. But if someone wants to buy a property through the land bank, that municipality has to be a member of the land bank.
Right.
Otherwise, they have to, they can buy it directly from the Tax Claim Bureau if that municipality isn't a participating member.
But on the land bank website, do we advertise or show certain properties?
On ours, we do have all the properties that are members of the land bank.
Okay.
Of municipalities that are members. We also have our own land bank owned properties that we acquired right from the beginning that we're still holding on to.
So what you do is you if, say, for example, you found a property in Scranton that's on the repository, you express an interest in buying it, and then that's when the land bank gets involved because Scranton is a participating municipality. And then we will do the sale through the land bank. And like I said, it's either $500 for a regular lot or $150 for a side lot. And it puts the properties back on the tax roll. And so it's good for the county, but it's also good for the neighborhood because it reduces blight. We make sure that the people that are buying the properties are buying them for the right reasons. They're not flipping them or, doing something adverse to what the municipality would want. We make sure that we get input from the municipality when we do decide to sell a property.
So there are requirements and there's a screening process.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
You want to talk about that?
Yeah. As soon as someone calls me and wants some information on a whether it be a repository property or a land bank property, I will email them a copy of the application, an affidavit that says that they're up to date on all their municipal fees and taxes, and also an offer form. So once they submit that, and also they have to submit at that time a cashier's check or a money order for the amount of whether if it's a side lot, $150. If it's a buildable lot, then it's $500. Now we hold that money order or cashier's check until we actually close on the property. That's to make sure that people are serious about this. We don't take it in and then we're stuck with it if they back out. So once I get that and they submit the application, I notify the municipality of their intent of the property, and they will let me know if they're good with the intended use of the property. I also ask some of the tax claim office or some of the tax collectors within the municipalities, are they up to date on all their taxes and municipal fees, including garbage fees? Because if they're not, then they're not eligible to buy the property.
So a side lot is something that is not non-buildable?
It is, right. And they can vary in size. I mean, some of the side lots, when you think about it, over the years, especially in the city, it might be 30 feet wide, and what's somebody, and there was a house on it, it might have burned down or something. And it's just sitting there.
So the setbacks now to today's standards won't allow anything to be constructed.
Right,
okay.
Right. So, and in the meantime, the people might just have abandoned the property because what are they going to do with a 30-foot lot in the middle of a neighborhood? So that's why, this side lot program is really successful.
But the owner of the property next to it, to them, that property may be valuable. It gives them more land.
Right. And so you've also donated these for green spaces.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's also an option.
Yeah. We've had neighbors that bought properties to maintain them, but again, we want to put these properties back in the hands of responsible property owners. That's the main objective, that somebody that's going to take care of it, because that's the whole objective of the land bank.
Right.
And to put them on the tax roll. And I think that maybe municipalities, as I'm sitting here, in addition to them maybe thinking that they lose control of what happens to the property, which is not true, maybe they're thinking, well, if the property's bought straight off the repository through the tax claim office, that they'll get more for the property. But really, what are the chances of that occurring? You know what I mean? Instead, it's in my opinion, it's quicker if we have the land bank involved. And yes, we're not going to sell it for the same amount that it would be sold if it was sold through the Tax Claim Bureau, but it's done more quickly. People can afford it. It's $500, and it's immediately the following year of purchase put on the tax roll. So for all the time that these municipalities are waiting for people to buy these properties off the repository, if you do it through the land bank and we get interest, we move on them quickly. They're put back on the tax roll. We make sure that the properties are maintained, and it reduces blight and improves, in my opinion, the quality of life of everybody around it.
Right. So how long of a process? And I would imagine that side lots are different than regular buildable lots, are different than structures. How long of a process is this?
They could be about the same because, once we get the application in, we ask that the application get in, if they want it to be considered at the next board meeting, it has to be in 2 weeks prior to that, because it has to give me time to notify the municipalities of the intent of the property. So once that happens, then I present everything to the board at the meeting, little color pictures and of the properties, and everybody looks at it, and whether in most cases they approve it. So once the meeting is over and everything is approved, I will notify the tax claim office to have those properties transferred to the land bank. Okay. Once we get the deed for those properties into the land bank, we can start the process of conveying that property out to that either adjacent property owner or someone who hopefully will build a house on the property.
And I didn't mean to be speculative in saying that I'm not saying that anyone wouldn't purchase directly from the repository list through the tax claim. I just think as a individual, it's far more enticing to buy it through the land bank because you're going to pay far less.
Yeah, the prices, from the tax claim office, I mean, they have to get a certain amount for that property. So, I mean, through the Land Bank Act, we're able to take those and then sell them for really whatever,
Yeah.
And we do help with demolition in certain instances.
If a property needs work, how long do they have? Is there an agreement that you have in place?
Yeah, there is. We got burned a couple of times at the beginning when we sold properties that put structures and someone was going to, rehab it. So anymore, we require a $5,000 good faith deposit up front for a property. And, that's put in escrow. And they don't get that back until they complete the rehab. And they get a certificate of occupancy. We may release it a little bit earlier if they're right at the end and they need that $5,000 to complete it. But that's just because, there's just when you buy a property from the repository or even at a judicial sale, you can turn around and not do anything for it, and it's just a turn. Somebody might buy a property for $8,000. And they won't do anything to it, and it'll sit there for 2 years, and it's like a vicious cycle. It'll be back in the judicial sale 2 years later.
So we make sure, the land bank makes sure that if they say that they're going to rehab the property, that they are in fact going to rehab it.
Right.
We also additionally recently addressed whether or not we should allow people to purchase property through the land bank if they were delinquent on their taxes. And I'm a little foggy as to what we decided. We went back and forth on that.
We're looking at each one individually now to, if they're a chronic
habitual.
Right. I mean, look, if somebody's behind from during the years of COVID, it happens, but then they get caught up and then they want to buy a property, that's one thing. But if you have somebody who didn't pay taxes prior to COVID,
for the last 30 years,
right, and then all of a sudden they come forward and pay all their taxes and they want to purchase a property through the land bank, we're suspect because again, we don't want to sell the property and have it just end up in the same position that it was before we got it. And then that doesn't really encourage municipalities to get involved in the land bank. So we are very cautious and, Ralph really does take he does his due diligence and make sure that the property owners do what they say they're going to do with the property.
Okay, good. Great stuff. We're headed towards the break. Today with us, Ralph Pappas, Business Relations Manager with Lackawanna County Office of Planning and Economic Development. Debbie Dominic, one of our Lackawanna County Commissioners, also the chairwoman of the Lackawanna County Land Bank. Before we go to break, we have Pat Devaney reviewing one of our
listings. Yes.
Fabulous listings.
This is a nice one. We have a 5-bedroom, 2-bath Cape Cod style home in Dunmore at 2006 Electric Street for only $225,000. In this market, this is a rare find. It's got lots of natural woodwork, a fireplace, along with central air conditioning on the first floor. This home has plenty of off-street parking and a detached one-car garage. It sits on a 55 by 135 lot, along with low taxes of less than $2,400 a year. That's a 5-bedroom, 2-bath home with a garage at 2006 Electric Street in Dunmore for $225,000, and it's listed by Gail Lewis of our office.
Thank you, Pat. I have a question for you.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you know what the hottest real estate market in the U.S. of A is for the 33rd straight month?
Florida?
Phoenix.
Oh, Phoenix.
But you're not entirely wrong because Tampa is on the climb and is eyeing that top spot.
Yep. Everybody wants to go to Florida.
Yeah. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to the Real Estate Roundtable with Century 21, Jack Ruddy Real Estate, and 94.3 FM The Talker. We'll be right back.
The talented team of professionals at Century 21 Jack Ruddy Real Estate. They're not just real estate agents, they're agents of change. They're on a never-ending quest for the best for you and your family. They can help you find precisely what you want at this time in your life. A computer, a website, an app, and a listing by itself can't do that. They're obsessed with better and deliver extraordinary, embracing the what if, not just the what's been done before, with a level of accountability and honesty not found anywhere else in the real estate industry. Don't settle for average, okay, or just all right. This change in your life is monumental, and there's only one Century 21 Jack Ruddy Real Estate that will help you rock that change. Call 570-344-6724 and visit jruddy.com, JRUDDY.com. Each Century 21 office is independently owned and operated.
You're rejoining the Real Estate Roundtable with Century 21 Jack Ruddy Real Estate on 94.3 FM The Talker. I am Jackie Ruddy, broker, and with my husband, fellow realtor, Pat Devaney.
And we're back with a very interesting show.
Yes, we're talking about the land bank. And with us today, Ralph Pappas, business relation manager with Lackawanna County Office of Planning and Economic Development, Debbie Dominic, one of our Lackawanna County commissioners, also chairwoman of the Lackawanna County Land Bank. The land bank was created to return blightful and delinquent properties in our communities to productive use. Did I get that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Some municipalities participate, others do not. You have a good portion, almost half? 16?
16 out of 40, right?
Okay.
Yep.
So
We were going to places pre-COVID. We were going to like council meetings and things of that nature, and we signed up quite a few, and then we kind of stopped doing that because people's COVID. But now we're going to start hopefully again.
Now there, some of the municipalities may not have that many tax delinquent properties, and they don't feel it's worth it. Others have quite a few more. Like the city of Scranton, there's over 500 delinquent properties in the city.
Well, it makes sense because, as Debbie said, there are really no downsides. There are so many advantages.
One of the advantages of the land bank is, we can go to, and this is just what happened yesterday. There was a judicial sale yesterday, and one of the townships requested that the land bank go in on their behalf and do a preemptive bid. So, and then convey the property to them, so they don't have to compete against somebody else might want it. Now, in fact, it was Jefferson Township. They had a flooding. They have a flooding issue up on Mount Cobb Road. They have a grant to construct a retention pond, but they needed property off the side of the road in order to do that. So they approached the land bank about getting that property at the judicial sale and then convey it to them. So, I mean, you just don't know. Somebody might have got wind of that, and they'll go in and bid against them, and just up that price for the municipality. So we're able to go in and get it for whatever the minimum bid is, and we did that yesterday, and we've done that before too. We've done it for some nonprofits for the Ronald McDonald House. So that's. And
another, I think, advantage, or why I think it's favorable to all these municipalities to get involved, is because rent these days costs more than most people's mortgage payments, monthly mortgage payments.
Rents are going up.
So if somebody can afford, find a house on the repository and only pay $500 for it, and then have the ability to renovate it, kind of do it yourself type of thing, they can own a home that maybe they otherwise would not be able to had they have to pay the full price of the property. So it does improve, fosters economic development. It, I think it brings the quality of life up for all the properties around, and it decreases blight, puts, the property back on the tax roll, which is very important for everyone.
Well, these properties are also unsafe. I mean, they're ugly to look at, for
Right.
the lack of a better way of stating it. But there are also security and safety problems because you have people that break into them.
Right. So, but there are a lot of people who know how to, do it themselves. Like a lot of contractors out there, a lot of men who do things on the side, even women now I see all over the place who are able to,
Renovate
and make improvements to the house. I mean, it's amazing what people can do. So if there is a property that maybe is unsafe, they can, if they have the ability to do it, they can hopefully, turn that property around. Not all the properties that we sell are demolished, right, Ralph?
Well, right now we don't have any structures. Okay.
I mean, the ones that we have sold in the past.
No, they weren't demolished. They're in the process of being rehabbed right now.
Right.
And one of them is the proprietors of On Caphouse Avenue.
So if you're
Andrew
able to
Planey, Megan Pasamato, who were once realtors with Century 21, Jack Ruddy, purchased the property across from their on place of business, and they are in the process. I mean, they're at the tail end of the renovation, and what they've done is beautiful.
Right.
But they purchased it through the land bank.
And it's hard to pay rent or, and try to pay a mortgage if you have to renovate a house before moving into it. But this way, if you buy a house for $500, you can still maybe afford your rent and until you can get that property renovated and then, transition into housing, which I think every family wants.
There was another property that is down on Nayog Avenue that we took in because we had someone who wanted to fix it up. And that house, I think it went through about 4 or 5 floods. You'd never think that something could ever happen to it. But a gentleman bought it and fixed it up, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's perfect. And, now it's protected by the levee. So,
and as realtors, I'm assuming you guys can answer this question. If you fix up if a neighborhood has a house that's dilapidated and, falling apart and then ends up instead being beautified and improved, doesn't that improve the
value in the neighborhood? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. So it helps everybody around.
Everybody wins on that one. Ralph Papas, Business Relations Manager with Lackawanna County Office of Planning and Economic Development. Debbie Dominic, one of our Lackawanna County Commissioners, also Chairwoman of the Lackawanna County Land Bank. Would you please come back next week so we could talk more about this fascinating topic?
Yes.
yes, definitely.
Thank you.
Okay.
Pat?
Okay, we have it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home at 229 North Garfield Avenue in Scranton for $147,000. This updated home, it's got a newer kitchen with granite countertops and newer cabinets. It also has newer PEX plumbing and many updates. This home sits on an 80 by 50 lot. It's a ranch-style home, and it's a fenced-in lot. It's a very nice home. So if you're looking for a move-in condition, 3-bedroom, 2-bath home in Scranton, check out 229 North Garfield Avenue for only $147,000, and that's listed by Tim Vanston of our office.
Thank you, Pat. We still need listings. We need homes for sale in inventory. Very, very low. Karen Kashuba, realtor with Century 21 Jack Ruddy's, is looking for a buyer in the Valley View, Dunmore, Mid-Valley, Old Forge, Pittston, and Dury A area up to $150,000. Any style home, 2 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms, a conventional mortgage, and they would like some off-street parking, but that's not a deal killer. She also has a buyer in the Abingtons up to $350,000. They're looking for a townhouse, a ranch, a bi-level, 2 to 3 bedrooms, cash, and conventional financing. So we need those types of properties. If you are a listener that's thinking about selling, please give us a call. We may have your buyer. I'm to the point where I'm telling all my realtors to move their family members into their homes, sell the family members' homes, live like that for a couple years, and then go back buy something down the road, because we really have the lowest inventory that I've ever seen in the 30 years I'm doing real estate.
I don't want anybody moving in the house with me. I'm sorry. Thank you.
Well, just
I'll live in the car. I'll go rent a garage from Ralph.
We need houses to sell. Remember to tune in next Saturday at 11 a.m., Sunday at 11:30 a.m. to listen to more of the Real Estate Roundtable with Century 21 Jack Ruddy Real Estate on 94.3 FM The Talker.